Hi, I'm Rick Willis. I'm the host of the Rick Willis Real Estate Show. We've been live on the air in radio for 11 years, and now for the first time coming to television. And I appreciate you being with us today. As many of my listeners already know, I've been in the real estate business since the 1970s. I've done pretty much everything there is to do in the business. I'm working with new construction, resales, commercial, vacant land, second homes, you name it, I've done it. For a 10-year period, I traveled the United States training thousands of real estate agents in how to help people just like you buy and sell real estate. And what this show is really about is to give you some inside tips and pointers that are going to help you make a better buy and get your property sold for top dollar. This program is not designed to sell you anything. It's not an infomercial. This is a program not for realtors. This is a program for you, the member of the buying and selling public. I'm going to give you inside secrets that many, many experienced realtors don't even know. Stay tuned, and you're going to be learning an awful lot of information about buying a home. Today's show is going to focus specifically on how you can get your best buy here in Charleston. Probably the biggest mistake that buyers make when searching for a home is using the wrong website. Today, most people search for homes online. What they don't know is, based on which website they go to, there's a vast difference in the accuracy and the correctness of the information received. In order to get your best buy, you must be searching in the right place. And today, most buyers are searching online. There's a tremendous difference between different websites. You've got to be using the right website. In the real estate business all over the United States, each multiple listing service has its own proprietary website and access to information. This particular website that you're viewing right now is linked to the local multiple listing service. Unfortunately, services like Trulia, Zillow, and many other brand name sites take information from the local MLS sites, but the information isn't accurate, it's not up to date, and you're going to get less than complete information. I suggest you do not use those sites. You want to use the site that you're on right now. If you're not certain that you're looking at a local MLS site, multiple listing site, I want you to visit my website, which is rickwillis.com. When you visit my website, you have the ability to search by map, zip code, or city. You'll be able to find exactly what you want. Go to my website, rickwillis.com. Although you have the ability to get access to information on properties for sale on this website, I would suggest that you also contact the realtor whose site that you're now looking at and make sure you make them a partner of yours to participate with you in getting you the complete, updated, accurate information. You see, as a realtor, we have the ability to make sure you get daily updates of exactly what you're looking for. I would suggest, in addition to having an email communication with the realtor, that you also have a phone call conversation. Although so much can be done online today, there's nothing to take the place of a personal one-on-one conversation where you can ask questions of the realtor and the realtor can ask questions of you, and the search will be refined in such a greater fashion that you're going to be getting far more personalized, customized information. And that's really what you want, isn't it? You know, a lot of times people will search online themselves, will not contact a realtor either by telephone call or email for any help. They're just the kind of personality that says, I'm going to do it myself. Well, let me give you an idea of what information you might be missing. When you select the criteria yourself, you may be getting listings that are contingent and under contract instead of those that are brand new. When I help you or any realtor helps you, they can set you up on an automated daily search where every single day in real time, regardless of which company lists the property or which realtor individually lists the property, you'll get 100% of all the listings guaranteed. You don't need other websites. Let me give you an example of what I'm referring to here. You know, sometimes people put in the criteria in their search criteria a given city, but they don't know where the boundaries of that city are. They don't know the quality of the schools in that respective area. They don't know the crime. They don't know the appreciation rate. If you have a conversation with the realtor, then you're going to get all that information and more, so you're not going to be selecting properties that you want to look at, and later you find out they don't even meet your criteria. For example, here in the Charleston area, we have wind and flood insurance premiums that are astronomical if you're in the wrong area. You've got to be looking in the right area. You might think you want a 4-bedroom home, but we have things unique here in our area called 3 bedrooms with a frog. The word frog, what would that possibly mean? Finished room over a garage. Well, for many people, that would be fine, because they're going to use one of the bedrooms for an office or something equivalent of that anyway. But those are just a couple of examples where you really want to interact with the realtor in a conversation to ensure that you're getting all the information that applies to you personally and individually. And it can only be done with a conversation. In many markets of the country, the market is really strong. It's really active. Homes are selling very fast. If you're not on an automated system where on a daily basis you're getting new updates, you have a very great likelihood of missing your best buy. You want to be the first person to look at a new listing that meets your criteria. You've got to have that relationship with the realtor who's sending you this information. And I'd like to be your realtor here in the greater Charleston area. Many people that look on a website do so primarily searching prices, but they're not looking in the right area. They're not looking in the right city. You see, if you just look at houses, square footages, and prices, you're probably going to be missing the single most important thing for you. And that could be the quality of the schools. It could be access to restaurants or golf courses. It could be buying in an area that's the fastest growing or the greatest appreciation. You've got to have that individual relationship with a realtor and a phone conversation to ensure that you're getting the best information. Oh, by the way, if you happen to be looking for an investment property or a rental property, you want to make sure you have that conversation with me, because most people that come to this town to buy rental or investment property buy the wrong property in the wrong area at the wrong price point and have the wrong management. You've got to work with someone who's an expert in the investment world, and that would be me. Regardless of whether you're local and have lived here all your life, or if you're from out of state, out of town, and have never been here before, it's critical before you go looking for an individual property to purchase that you learn about neighborhoods, learn about areas, learn the big picture, and then work your way back to the individual home. When people are visiting here from out of town, I make this suggestion. Let's take a several-hour tour of all the different parts of the area. And then after you feel comfortable with an area, then we go drive by from the outside and look at homes that are for sale that meet your criteria. And then after you like the area, after you've been by them from the outside and it feels right, then and only then do we set up appointments to look at the insides. Another mistake that buyers make, particularly in a marketplace that's very strong, very active, moving quickly, is they don't obtain a pre-approval letter or what is called a proof of funds letter prior to looking. You see, you're liable to go out, find a home you like, you and your realtor write an offer on that particular property. And what's required when that offer is submitted is a pre-approval letter from a lender showing that you're capable of buying it. Or if you're paying all cash, what is called a proof of funds letter stating that you do in fact have access to the cash to buy the home. There are some sellers that will not even present the offer, and they certainly will advise their seller not to accept it without that letter. The realtor you're working with can help you obtain such a letter. In obtaining such a pre-approval letter or proof of funds letter, let me make this suggestion. Never, ever, ever work with simply an online lender. If there's one thing I've learned in my experience in real estate, you've got to be working with a local bank, a local credit union, a local mortgage broker, someone with feet on the ground or bricks and mortar. You're going to get a lot better service than you will trying to work with just the online lenders. The internet is wonderful, but not for lending and borrowing here in this area. Even if you're not here now in the greater Charleston area, with simply a phone call, you can get a pre-approval letter. And I know the right people for you to get that pre-approval letter from. Give me a call, send me an email. I'll make sure I put you in touch with that individual. You may be wondering why you need a pre-approval letter. Well, the answer is, if there's more than one offer on a property and you have to wait to contact your banker, your out-of-town individual, or the letter is incomplete, you're not going to get the house. You're going to lose the house. The best way to get the house that you want is to be armed and prepared with the proof of funds or pre-approval letter prior to looking at any houses. Therefore, in about an hour's time from looking at the house, the offer can be written with the letter. You're going to get immediate action, and you can actually go to the head of the line and perhaps get your offer accepted before the other realtors who are representing other buyers even submit their offer. As part of the process of obtaining a pre-approval letter, they run your credit, which is going to tell you and the lender and the seller of the property that you're creditworthy to buy the property. In addition to that, there's many different loan programs that require different credit scores. You and the seller and the realtor you work with will be 100% assured that if you see a house and you want to buy it, you're going to be able to obtain the financing. By the way, if you have circumstances, past foreclosure, bankruptcy, short sale, or other issues, there are ways to buy even if you've had these, including owner financing, lease purchase, and portfolio lenders that don't have the same criteria as your traditional large banks. You want to make sure you get that pre-approval letter, and if you're not sure that your credit or your history would allow you to buy today, get it done anyway, because I've seen too many times where people don't buy, wait to buy, and they have the ability to buy now. You want to make sure you don't delay if you have the ability to buy. Prices are going up, interest rates are going to be going up, and it costs you more money to rent than it does to own a home. Please, please, please take the action necessary to contact the lender to get that pre-approval letter, and when he does the credit check on you, even if you're less than perfect, you let the banker, mortgage broker, or credit union run your credit report. It will not harm your credit score. You're going to have it anyway to buy, and by having it, you're in a much stronger position. And there's owner financing, there's seller financing, there's local programs that are not available on a national basis. There are portfolio loans, there's lease purchase, and other creative ways to buy. I can help you if I know exactly what your situation is. You want to know, you need to know, and it'll help you. By the way, if you've never owned a home before, I don't care if you're 22 years old or 62 years old, you want to make sure you stop renting, even if you're not sure how long you're going to be in the area. Buy a home, you've got to live somewhere. Buying is going to be cheaper than renting. And remember something, when you're renting, you are making a mortgage payment. But the mortgage payment that you're making is not to your benefit. It is to the benefit of who owns the apartment complex or the house that you're renting. And when you own a house, you get equity buildup, you get principal buildup, you get tax benefits. You want to buy as soon as possible. By the way, when you're deciding what purchase price amount you can afford or what monthly payment you're comfortable with, please make sure you don't just compare what you're now paying in rent to what a monthly payment would be when buying. You see, when you own a home instead of rent, you have a tax deduction that you can write off your taxes. The IRS allows you to deduct your interest and your property taxes off your tax return. You can go to your employer. You can change your withholding to get more money in your take-home pay to adjust for perhaps having a higher payment should your monthly payment be higher. And you need to look at part of that monthly payment you make just like it's a savings account, because part of that money is going to reduce your principal amount each and every month. One of the things that virtually all buyers don't even consider when they're relocating or buying if they're already in town is the experience level of the realtor. For the most part, people looking at houses only want someone that can take them to the house, open the door, write up a purchase offer, and they don't take into consideration the experience level or the knowledge of that realtor. You only want to be working with a very experienced realtor, experienced in the market, experienced in writing offers, experience in negotiating on your behalf. Do not settle for a rookie. Do not settle for someone who's not extremely active every day and has been for years in the market area that you want to purchase. Here in the greater Charleston area, there's really about 10 different neighborhoods, areas, parts of town. You want to work with a realtor who's knowledgeable about all of them. I'm one of those few realtors here in the greater Charleston area that works the entire Charleston metropolitan area. Berkeley County, Dorchester County, Charleston County. If you're looking for a rural property with acreage, if you're looking for something downtown, at the beaches, no matter where it is or what it is, I have been there, I've done it, I can help you, and it would be a privilege for me to have a conversation with you to see if I can help you. You can contact me directly on my cell phone, 843-327-3017, or email rick@rickwillis.com, or visit my website and you can reach me there, rickwillis.com. In order to elaborate a little bit on the importance of experience, the realtor who's been around for a number of years doing what they're doing in the market area sees lots of property, lists lots of property. And when it comes time to writing an offer, there's lots of things to know about submitting that offer, lots of things to know if there's more than one offer, how to write the offer in such a way that your offer will be accepted instead of someone else's. There's ways to put language into a contract of sale that protects you in terms of the property condition, as well as closing costs that would be paid on your behalf by the seller, as well as negotiating any issues that should come up from your home inspection. There's literally dozens and dozens of blank lines in the contract, things to do after the contract's accepted, professionals that will support and help you in your purchase and getting your best buy. You've got to work with someone experienced. And in the greater Charleston area, you're not going to find anyone with greater experience than Rick Willis. I welcome you to call me or email me so we can have a chat. We've got a question that was emailed to us from Russ, and Russ asked the following question. What type of investment property is the best? Well, big question, Russ. It would take me 15, 20 minutes to answer it thoroughly, and then I would need to ask you a lot of questions. But here's the key to Russ's question. When he asked about what's the best investment property, most people don't know the distinction between investment property and speculation property. You can speculate in real estate and hope that it goes up in value, or you can buy property that gives you consistent, ongoing income. And there's a major difference of what type of property, where you look for the property, and what you actually invest in. You've got to understand those two different aspects of it, and then you can make a wise, informed decision. You want to make sure you talk with a realtor who is experienced in the world of investment property, not just helping people buy and sell primary homes, but investment grade cash flow property, if that's what you're looking for, or if you're looking for a speculative property that's going to go up in value, you need to have that conversation with that particular agent. If you've never purchased a home before, or at least if you've not purchased in the last 15, 20 years, you may not understand the concept of what is called a buyer's agent. Years ago, when you were looking to buy a home, every realtor, even if it wasn't the listing realtor, represented the seller. Now, you as a buyer can have your own buyer's agent. We call it buyer's representation, whereby somebody is looking out for your best interest. And best yet for you, you don't pay them a penny. Unfortunately, most buyers don't get a realtor involved in working with them early enough. Or God forbid they go out and they try to negotiate a purchase with the listing agent and not having their own buyer representation. You see, when you're working with one realtor exclusively, you've interviewed them, they've interviewed you, you like each other, you feel comfortable with them personally as well as professionally, then they, when it comes time to writing an offer, can and will negotiate for your self-serving best interest. And again, I repeat, you do not pay the buyer's agent. When a seller puts their property on the market for sale, they sign a listing agreement. Part of that listing agreement is to authorize the listing company to pay a co-op fee, a percentage of the total listing, to the company, and in turn the agent who is representing the buyer. That person will get paid by the seller of the property, but they're representing you. You must understand this. You must make sure you've got the right realtor that you're working with in a buyer representation agreement. So, if you're looking to buy here in the greater Charleston area, it would be my privilege to speak with you about representing you and being your buyer's agent. Call or email me and we can chat. Another thing that your buyer's agent can do for you is to negotiate on your behalf. Now, negotiating is a skill. Negotiating takes experience. You might use a realtor who's brand new, or even an experienced realtor who's not really a good negotiator. Now, what do you need a negotiator for? Well, obviously price. When you're going to submit an offer on any property, you want your buyer's agent to do some homework for you. I always call the listing realtor and I ask them, how many offers have been submitted on this property? How long has it been on the market? Have they turned down any offers on this property? How motivated is the seller? We also then check that particular price on that property relative to comparables of what's sold as well as other active listings on the market for sale. Also, in addition to price, the realtor who is representing you as your buyer's agent can also negotiate with the lender on your behalf to make sure your closing costs, your points, and interest rates are where they should be. Also, negotiating the terms, getting your closing costs paid. When I represent a purchaser, we always want to ask the seller to pay the closing costs. You, the buyer, don't want to be responsible for paying those. You're going to have a home inspection. The home inspection is going to come back and have issues. You're either going to want to negotiate the seller making those repairs and fixing those issues, or you're going to negotiate a fee that comes back to you. In lieu of having the seller fix things, you want a monetary credit for you. The bottom line of the bottom line is there's a number of things that have to be negotiated, and you want a very experienced realtor to represent you who's good at that. In the home inspection business, the criteria to become a home inspector is not very difficult. Said differently, sometimes you have home inspectors that have a construction background, engineers, very, very detailed by nature. And other times you have somebody who's unemployed from a non-related field, and they can go get their license, or shall we say approval, to inspect properties, but really aren't qualified at all. You've got to make sure you've got the detailed home inspector that takes lots of pictures, has a thick report, and will do you the job that you want done. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you're looking to buy or sell anywhere in the greater Charleston area, please contact me by way of phone or email from the information that you see currently on your screen. It'll be a privilege to speak with you.